So, since Makato Shinkai's new film Weathering With You is slated to release in July, I thought let's talk about one of his great films. I wanted to talk about Your Name, but I feel like I have seen many reviews about this film. Your Name is loved universally praised everywhere. And so, what more do I need to say about that film of a masterpiece? But I want to talk about one film that not many people have been talking about, and that's been sort of overlooked by the success of Your Name, and that is The Garden of Words. This is another great film. Shinkai likes to focus on themes of long lost love, if I would say so myself. He talks about two main characters, essentially main characters who are far apart from each other. They are in a long distance, I would say, and so there is something that is connecting these two characters in some sort of way, and I feel like the same sort of thing happens in this film as well, metaphorically. Figuratively, they're not that far apart. The film focuses on Takayo. He is this aspiring 15-year-old shoemaker. He goes to school, he lives the normal life, he doesn't really know that much to do with his life. The only thing that he knows to do well is be a shoemaker, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a shoemaker, that's his passion, whereas Yukari is a mysterious 27-year-old woman who is a high school teacher, and they keep on meeting with each other at the National Garden on rainy mornings. While Takayo is trying to skip class, he's trying to get away from the school life, Yukari is avoiding work due to personal problems in her professional life. And all these little snippets, all this little information in these characters is what makes it very realistic. Yukari tells Takayo nothing about herself. She's very mysterious. She is very within herself. He doesn't really share that much to other people. Whereas Takayo opens up a lot. He is sharing his passion for shoes. He's trying to offer to make a pair for her, which is a very sweet thing to do. That's very romantic. Boys, please do actually note that down. Shinkai, he writes a story as a tale of lonely sadness, and so that's the main inspiration in this film, the theme of isolation. And this is sort of based on the traditional meaning for love. And so he uses Takayo's aspiration of shoes as a symbol for that, as a metaphor for life. One other thing is the age difference. Shinkai does a great job in not presenting awkwardness or weirdness between the age difference. Yes, there's a 15-year-old person and a 27-year-old woman. Normally, there would be a lot of awkwardness, there would be a lot of, weirdness between two people trying to get to know each other. In this film, doesn't really seem to happen. It's very natural, it's very realistic, and so you don't really feel uncomfortable when watching it. And that's the thing about people who are not really affiliated with Japanese animation or Japanese film culture. They seem to shy away. They seem to shy away from this sort of filmmaking, this sort of themes and genres in the Japanese film culture. But the people who are actually affiliated with this type of genre, with this type of style in Japanese filmmaking, will very much appreciate this film. The age difference between two main characters and their character traits, that demonstrates how awkwardly and disjointedly people tend to mature. And that's the thing that Shinkai really wanted to point out towards the audience, where even adults sometimes feel no more mature than teenagers. I feel like this film is a more modern concept of what romance or what love would be like. He does it in a great way. This film goes very overlooked, like I mentioned before. It's a very underrated film, and I feel like it's one of the best animated films out there. Yes, I keep saying that about every anime film that I watch, but I can't help but love this genre, guys. This genre is special. I want to make a video about why anime is so important in film culture. I'm so glad that the Japanese animation are sticking with this type of animation. Hand-drawn animation is something that is very overlooked, something that is that doesn't really go that much noticed. How can you not notice this? Look at this. This is astounding. This is one of the best animated films I've ever seen. It's up there with films like Hayao Miyazaki's Wind Rises, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. I can go on and on. The new film Your Name, and I hope Weathering with You joins these other films. The Garden of Words really does emphasize the original meaning of koi, a longing for someone in solitude. But loneliness is the key element in the film. In an interview, he actually said that he created this film with the hope of cheering up people who feel this day to day in their life, who feel lonely or incomplete in their social relations. But however, he made a point that this movie does not treat loneliness as something that must be fixed. And yes, although the story's central theme is isolation and loneliness, it uses the settings and the themes of rain and shoes as motifs. Yes, in films, rain can be affiliated with romance and love, but in the real life, it could be affiliated with sadness and loneliness and a gloomy sort of feeling. And that's the thing that they really do hit in this film. Yes, it's seen as sad and gloomy, but in the Garden of Words, it makes the world more vivid and more noticeable. But it really does protect the two main characters from the reality of their lives. I don't want to give anything away about this film, but I feel like this must be said that yes, this film has had a little mixed critical reception with the ending of the film, with how the film wrapped up, with the emotional climax of the film. But really, his stories, they encourage teenagers to learn to cope with these experiences. And so he admitted that he has been accustomed to being turned down by women. And he felt that his stories were very encouraging because his characters continue to try. Despite being unsuccessful in love or whatever they do, they keep trying. And that's the most beautiful message that I can really give, and a common message that I receive in Shinkai's films. Same thing with a film like 5 centimeters per second. The Garden of Words was created with a combination of hand-drawn animation, rotoscoping, and obviously CGI. It's just incredible that the people who are doing this, how do they do this? How do people even come up with this? It's mind-boggling. It's brilliant. Shinkai really did make half of the film's backgrounds by using photos as a base and then drawing over the top with them with more animation that is being held back behind the scenes. Just little things that make this guy an absolute genius. It's so great to have people like Shinkai when you know that geniuses like Hayao Miyazaki are on their way to retirement. Yes, Hayao Miyazaki has got one more film to put out until he goes back into retirement, but it's so nice to know that there are other brilliant directors and filmmakers that are on their way to that status, and Shinkai is on his way. But of course, once again, the process behind this animation is just astounding. It just seems so photorealistic. Look at this animation. Look at the comparison of normal photograph and what they managed to do in this film. It's a very, very unique visual style by using a method that involved integrating the color for each character with the background that mirrors that refraction of light screen in the nature you mostly see. The message in the garden scenes, you see how the outline of the characters sort of blends in with the environment that is so unique in a visual style at play. It really does help out to stand out, and it gives this film a very its own distinct look. And of course, the attention to detail in this film, it's jaw-dropping. I'm so impressed by the little amount of thought that is put into this film. This is just a 45-minute film, by the way, guys. A 45-minute film, and it's this good. I've seen both versions of this film, the Japanese subbed and the English dubbed as well. I honestly do believe that the Japanese subbed is far more superior, but I don't think the English dub is that bad at all. I feel like people sort of over-exaggerate just a little bit. I do understand the passion that it goes through when a person is saying that the Japanese sub is better because it's obviously Japanese culture and a Japanese animation. But I do feel like the English dub is not that bad at all. There are some great ones, and I feel like this one is good. It's good. The story in this film, it's very, very simplistic, but I feel like it's very well told at the same time. It's packed with a great amount of emotion. The ending is amazing, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. It really does close out all these characters in the best way possible. And there are some great emotional moments, some great dramatic moments as well. That's what it does. It balances out that realism in a film along with the visual anime style, and it works well. I really do recommend going into further about the inspiration behind Shinkai's way of telling a story, especially a person longing for someone. It has that great theme which involves rain. There is one great scene in this film where the two main characters, they want it to rain. They are longing for that rain to come down. That is a symbol to show how much they yearn for each other. And so that's such a very, very heartfelt way of feeling for someone. Once again, it's just incredible for Shinkai to present two characters with such an age difference that doesn't make it seem awkward or weird. They took the subject matter very seriously in creating with the right care and respect for the story. I guess the only thing that I can really say in terms of a criticism, not really, but just a little bit of a nitpick, is the length of the film. Yes, 45 minutes, it is simplistic and it really does link and it does fit perfectly with the story of the film. But here's the thing, 45 minutes it's too short in my opinion. I was so invested in these characters, I want to see more of them. 45 minutes is just 2 episodes of anime, and I wanted at least an hour, really. But that's just me praising the characters and how invested I was in them. I couldn't be more happy with this entire film. The ending, the climax, nothing about this film, there is nothing wrong about this film in my humble opinion. I'm gonna give The Garden of Words an A+. I feel like it's perfect. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That's my humble opinion. What do you think about it? If you have not seen this film, please go and see it. Please do watch this film. I think it's on Netflix, really. You can just go and watch it yourself and let me know what you think, because I think it's a masterpiece. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you.